All right, check, check. Hello, hello. Hey, how you doing, guys? What's going on? Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything started up here. This was a spur of the moment because I thought I was gonna head out tonight, but here I am. Unfortunate for me, but fortunate for you guys. I'm here to do this live stream after we just put in a remarkable pump all the way up to 15.9, I believe. That's insane. Really insane. Now, obviously, I was calling for a short. But I thought things were going to go a little bit differently. But here we are. And I said this. I said if we do happen to pump up, it probably would be somewhere up to 15.8 to the 16.9 mark. Oh, man. I feel good, but at the same time, I know it's starting to end. I don't think there will be a whole lot of time left before we go ahead and start entering the price discovery. Now, obviously, there's a couple of resistances left that do pose a little bit of a threat. Obviously, the major ones being 16.9, 17,000, call it even, as well as that 19,000. Those are the two final resistances that we have to break through on Bitcoin to really start this. So we'll see if those continue to hold. But while we're at it, let's go ahead and start marking out what could possibly become our range from here on out. Now, if we're going off the previous two highs and lows over here, we have a rejection at about 16.9 and then a bounce at about 13,330. All right, so that could be possibly what we could be working with in the future. Obviously, we do have to go off of some of the previous ranges as well, coming off this 2 hour. Those could be possible pullback points in the future. Who knows? Let's see. And then, like I was saying, over here, the reason why I was potentially looking at the 15.8 as being a strong resistance, if we look at the 6 hour here, we can see this kind of built up a head and shoulders pattern with a little bit of a higher high over here. That's where we're getting the 16.9 number from. Right here, that would be about 15.9, 15.8, however you want to call it. We'll just kind of throw that right down. And that's what we're currently getting a rejection off of right now. So if we can build some sort of continuation pattern soon, obviously we'll be looking for bull flags, ascending triangles, all that good stuff. A push up to 16.8 wouldn't be too bad. That I would probably see a macro rejection off of on the daily chart. Now, unfortunately, at the current moment, the bearish divergence is still there. Now, it is looking like it's a exaggerated bearish divergence at the current moment, which isn't too bad. Obviously, a standard and hidden are going to hit us a lot more hard than potentially an exaggerated. So that being said, what are our possibilities here? After we go up to test 16.8, hell, we could even go up to test 19,000. What is likely to happen? Obviously, the first thing you would say, if we do break past 19,000, there's a good chance that that starts the bull run. But if we do get rejected there, what are the potential fallback points? The most logical one, if we do happen to go all the way up and test 19,000 and still get a rejection, would most likely come back down and retest this local high. If you do want to look at this as potentially a slanted double bottom, that would be the horizontal resistance that you would want to go back and retest potentially. Not saying that that's going to happen, but right now it's looking good. Now this just it surprised me, man. I really thought this was going to be a bull trap, but we broke out of an ascending wedge to the upside so far. We'll see what happens from here on out. There is a chance that it builds a larger ascending wedge along that resistance, obviously being used as support now. That would be a good pattern, and that would actually be looking for around early June to late July if that did want to kind of form. You can see what I'm talking about here. Using this previous resistance off these three tops, we would be looking at a potential of going up and retesting 19,000 or 17,000 possibly. As well as that, we could obviously go use 19,000 as well. That would be a much larger ascending wedge, and that would absolutely take us over into July. Obviously, we're looking for that July range just because a lot of the other altcoins, as well as a lot of the macro capitulation on the momentum side of things, is looking towards a breakout sometimes towards July. So we could be looking at a larger pattern kind of pushing like this. Obviously, that could be broken up into many smaller patterns. We could be seeing head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, whatever might happen in that range. But that would seem to be our trajectory if we want to stay towards the upside, past this local high. If we did want to use a pattern like that, that would be absolutely substantial to build that large of an ascending wedge, not ascending wedge, ascending triangle with that flat top. And that would definitely propel us past that $19,000 mark into price discovery, which I'd be pretty happy about. Now, my play with a lot of these altcoins that are tradable on Bybit as well as Bitcoin, I'm particularly waiting for these, obviously good vantage points. I do have one past 12.5, but more importantly, the one that I'm looking for is the break of 19,100, $19,000 to call it flat. I'm looking to set up low leverage longs. I'm going to hold throughout the bull run. As well as that, I'll take smaller trades. Like we said, in these bull runs, there is going to be pullbacks to have retests, build ranges for the next potential bottom after the bull run. But more importantly on those, I'm not going to be trying to catch the bottom. We're just going to be taking breakout trades. So let's say in the future, we have a run up like this. All right, you're going to have these macro rejections and then take breakouts on the break of those. Okay, and you just hold on to those. And then once you have another macro rejection, possibly come back down to retest, you're going to go ahead and take your profits and then enter another one and another one and another one. Those are the short-term trades that we're going to be taking along the way. But besides that, there's not going to be a whole lot. So we better pray that this does get stuck in a range because I am looking to make a little bit more before we're out on, in the blue, in the sky. But we have a lot of support here. If we do continue to stay above it, we have not only the resistance being used to support now, but as well as that, the support from the ascending wedge is going to be used as support potentially once we start hitting these numbers over here in, July, early August. Let's go ahead and say hi. Rip King Vaughn. Don't know who that is. Crazy Head. Hello. Hey, how you doing, man? John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Absolutely fantastic. Had a little bit of birthday party last night. That's why when everybody was going crazy about 15K, I was nowhere to be seen. I was just kind of enjoying my time. My birthday wasn't last night. It's the last time I was probably going to be able to see my friends before my birthday. So I just went and had a little get together for them. But this weekend, November 8th, is my actual birthday. I'm going to be with my family all weekend. Just unfortunately couldn't head out tonight. Drew, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? Sammy Smith, hey, Austin, hope your birthday celebrations went well, man. Yeah, it was an absolute blast. I'm glad to have the group of friends that I do, and we just had a good time. Andrew, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? Hope everyone made nice gains. Absolutely, man. Even though I wasn't in a long trade, I still made nice gains. I mean, it's just upwards price action. You can't go wrong with that. Even if you miss the long trade, what? You're going to make a couple extra percent. We already, pumped up 15, 20% last night. Yeah, about 15% after getting a rejection. Crazy Kangaroo. Hello. How you doing, man? What's going on? Josh T, what's going on, man? How are you? Absolutely fantastic, man. Nothing to be said besides that. Never Settles. What's going on, man? How you doing? Apex. What's going on, buddy? Hey, everybody. Happy Friday, as always. And I mean, it's an even happier Friday with where we're currently sitting. Now, like I said, 2 potential rejection points. The bearish divergence still stands. We'll see how that kind of works out. Obviously, it's only a little bit left to go until that kind of turns into bullish convergence. But I'm kind of like in this crossroads. I'm unhappy because I did want to get it to fall back down, get stuck in a range, be able to scalp a little bit more, scalp. I don't really do 5-minute time frames, but 2-hour scalping is what I do. But, nothing left to be said. Kite, do you trade supply and demand? I guess. I don't go based off, I just do technical analysis. Now, trading cryptos is trading supply and demand. Obviously there's not a whole lot of fundamentals to worry about. You don't have to worry about CEO scandals or what the next best product is. You're simply trading stock to flow ratios with technical analysis added on top of it. Waiting for the Santa run in December. I don't know if we're going to get it this year because the Santa run is typically, the way it's said to be had is you have a whole bunch of people getting together around the holidays. They start trading information about crypto, and then people get invested in it. with COVID and all these restrictions they're already putting on Thanksgiving, who knows what's going to happen. And I'm sure there's probably going to be civil unrest. People won't want to leave the states, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if families are going to get together this year like they normally do. Have you guys seen the COVID restrictions for Thanksgiving? You can't have more than 3 families. You got to have masks on. You can't have Thanksgiving inside of your house. It's not enforceable. Obviously, people aren't going to follow it. So who knows how that's going to go. Crypto Kev, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Oh, man, what a crazy, crazy night. It was such a good night because you had Bitcoin pumping at the same time. We were just playing Uno. I don't drink, even though it was my 21st birthday party, but they were having a good time. Let's go ahead and check over at ETH. ETH also had a little pop off of its support from that inverse head and shoulders. Now, it obviously is not in green territory in terms of will we see massive continuation just yet? Who knows? Off of the smaller time frames, we're already starting to see us get past this first resistance here at about $442. Next possible resistance is going to be at the 481 mark. Now, if we can get past 481, that is where we're probably going to see major continuation to the upside. On the smaller time frames, there is a couple places that it could get caught, but when it comes to daily macros, the next real region that we'll be looking to retest is possibly somewhere around 713 to 802. The way that I'm getting those two numbers is we can see this is a bounce area, and then kind of a little shelf here. So that's why I'm getting that 700-ish number from. And then obviously the top rejection off of this macro long swing is where we're really looking to retest. So like I said, that's the last major resistance. You can see on the daily chart, we are holding massive resistance and then we get rejected, as well as right here, small resistance and then breakout. So that's why that $483 number is of severe importance. And if we can see that break, we'll probably see that massive continuation coming in. Because we do have the target for the upper 500s, but we'll have to see how it kind of works out to see if we can get up to that high $800 mark. But already, like guys, we said last live stream, inverse head and shoulders, we have a much larger target here. And if we do happen to break that out to the upside, we already have the target for about 600. So that's absolutely excellent. Did you do some nose candy, Kite? No, I did not. I'm not into that sort of thing. LTC looking good? Absolutely, man. We're still in that capitulation. Now it is looking to break out pretty soon. I, in particular, am looking to enter around $70. I'll see that as a potential break of the large macro trend, as well as that it's the first break of the horizontals. Going up from left to right, we have our first major resistance being at about $65, $66. After that, shortly, it's about $82. And then $141. And then $351. All right, those are our macro horizontals. More in particular, we're looking at the capitulation and the chance of getting a long or a possible just buy-in. I don't think I'll be leverage trading it in particular. It's just not something I do on these particular altcoins. I think it'll be a good play either way, just from past performance and how these kind of breakouts work out on LTC. But yeah, man, we're getting pretty close. That as well, we marked out a possible inverse head and shoulders. That bounce worked out perfectly. And now we're working on going up to retest that $65 region, but might get pushed down by that diagonal. All right. And what's some other coins we can look at? We can look at XRP. That had a nice pump yesterday as well. Finding support off the last local high of this double bottom. Absolutely what you want to see. This was a perfect play just to begin. We had a break of the double bottom horizontal. We went up to retest the last high of the arm. And then we're going back down to retest. And then hopefully from here we can kind of bottom out. And it looks like we're kind of finding support close to this diagonal here. So this could be what possibly carries us past that 32.6 cent mark. After that, it should be a straight shot all the way back up to about 47.8 cents. That's a good percentage point away. If we can go ahead and break that resistance, that's pretty much a for sure 46% play off of that. So if you can get a long in around that range of the break of about 32.6 cents, that's going to be a good long play. I would say it's going to look something a little bit like this. Hopefully it happens a little bit over here. That way you have kind of that double security. You have the diagonal as well as the horizontal. But if it's just the horizontal, it's still something that you might want to take a play off of. Obviously not financial advice, just saying what could possibly happen based on technical analysis, in my opinions. Let's see right here. Let's see. Probably have a good percentage point stop loss. Yeah, we'll say about 5%. Coming up to here, that would be a nice 7.34% on a macro. So not only if you're like using like 1% rule, you'll make about 7.3% extra XRP to your portfolio, but also the XRP that you're already holding will increase about 42% in terms of cash capital. Now, if you're willing to go a little bit more risky and get a closer entry and a little bit more stubborn stop loss, you can dramatically increase that restored ratio and come away with about 13. So it's all dependent on how you play it, how many times that you're willing to get wicked out if that does happen. Some people like to play it safe. Me, when it comes to these types of plays, where it's just a simple horizontal line and then a pretty nice target to the upside, I tend to go a little bit more to the risky side, but that's just me personally. Not trying to sway anybody to the dark side of trading. BTC pumps thousands, XRP goes up 2 pennies. Why? I think all eyes were on XRP, not XRP, BTC to begin with. Obviously it has a lot to do with BTC dominance and just money flow from the individual altcoins. But they're all in different patterns. XRP is still has many, many supports and resistances, and we have to find that bottom. Whereas, Bitcoin didn't have that many. We had a good amount to the next major resistance from the previous break. So once we were past this last local high, obviously we were looking to find a rejection around that 13.4, 13.5 mark. But past that, if we're going based off of just local highs, that was the gap in between those two. So I did have a little bit of a low leverage long open on that. I'm not closing it anytime soon because that is one of my DCA entry points when it comes to this macro long. Now I'm trying to set up for the bull run. But it was a pretty large gap. That's why we saw a much more massive move on Bitcoin rather than XRP. As an idea, while the group is small, why don't we do a group moonshot trade? Everyone put in $20 or something like that. I don't know how that sounds. That sounds a little bit like, I'm not talking trash on anybody, but Crypto Face kind of set up something like that, and he promised to give everybody back a little bit of percentage. I'm not looking to do anything like that on this channel. Sorry. Just too many ways for it to go wrong. Obviously, I have the best intentions when it comes to stuff like that, if I ever did do that, which I don't plan on it. But you can always lose, and that I just couldn't handle that stress. You think a bunch of new coins will come out after hitting BTC all-time high, like ICO boom? More than likely, there probably will be a craze, but a lot of the solid coins are already in there. So, pick your poison. Obviously, there's a lot to choose from that's stable. So I don't think a lot of people are going to go too crazy when it comes to the cryptocurrency boom. Last market cycle was the frenzy. All right, this is going to be the turning point in terms of adoption, and public opinion. So I don't think this will have a lot of strange outliers when it comes to ICOs. There definitely will be some, though. Let's see. What other coin we can look at? Let's see how XMR is doing. XMR is still testing, and it's finding support, though, on that horizontal. So that's on the daily chart as well. So obviously not financial advice, but if there was a time to insert some capital into a coin, it would be right now. You have a macro double bottom. Oh, didn't mean to do that. A macro double bottom, horizontal at about 116. Another double bottom here. So just like how it was on ETH and many other coins, the horizontal is the neckline. If we can find support on that, we are pretty much guaranteed. It's an if this then that statement. If 116 holds, our target is definitively 429 when it comes to macro perspective. So this would be one of those macro DCA points that you would want to put in on a coin. It's a simple setup, easy to play. Obviously, if we fall back through 116, take some capital out, and then always reinsert it when you go ahead and get back above that. Simple as that. UMA, we can check out UMA. Let me see. Got to find out if this is all of the price action here. Which one has the most? Maybe KuCoin. I don't know. I'll just go based off of this. All right, so coming from the 6 hour, we do have a nice diagonal put in here, which we are breaking out of. So if you want to look at this as a potential, obviously I don't know a lot about UMA. I can only speak for the technical analysis. I cannot speak for if it's a good coin or not. But you do have a little bit of a slanted double bottom shaping up here. Next resistance is going to be at about 10.85. So if you do want to look at this as a double bottom, that would be your neckline, 10.85. As well as that, you do have a nice slanted diagonal, as well as finding a bottom on a diagonal support. So if you want to look at this as a potential breakout, that would give you the target of coming back up and retesting 10.81. Obviously, like I said, I can only speak for the diagonals, but that looks to be what's happening. When it comes to daily divergences, it looks like a little bit of an exaggerated bullish divergence. Obviously, we do have major bearish divergence entering bullish convergence. So that ball hitting the window thing that I was talking about, 25% down, 75% up. So hopefully that clears things up. Obviously, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about UMA. RLC. We're going to go based off of this. All right, so we're looking at the daily chart here. Last local high before the breakout was around this range. Obviously, we're going off the exact top. We'll kind of meet it in the middle here. No, because that's a genuine flip-flop region. Unfortunately, it doesn't look hot, to be honest. At the current moment, obviously things can change. This is a descending wedge. If you want to kind of close the gap on that, but I'll leave it just straight. This is a descending wedge that is cutting below a macro horizontal. So if you are trading just horizontals and you're not paying attention to this possible diagonal pattern, this is a bullish continuation pattern. So it will give off the appearance that you are starting to fail and you're getting back below local highs. But what can happen is that can create some bullish divergence down here. And then once we get back above 77.75 cents, that would be your entry point. And then more than likely, first take profit would be around 1.915. And then obviously, if you do get past that, just continuation, wait for the next macro rejection. But at the current moment, the horizontals are not looking good. You're still in a bullish continuation pattern, but you do have that to kind of sway you away from it at the current moment. EOS, we can check out EOS as well. Let's go back to strictly cryptocurrency. There we go. EOS still in capitulation. Obviously, we are starting to find support off of this last bottom over here before we went back up to retest 3.8. So if we do continue to find support off of that, that would be good. Now, as long as we are staying below about $2.84, still a potential for a head and shoulders and for us to go back down and retest the absolute bottom of this diagonal. But either way, I would just sit tight if you want to be absolutely safe and wait for a break of this diagonal. and then look at what the potential horizontals are on the lower ranges. Obviously, we have the major ones marked out here. The next major horizontal resistance is going to be at about 3.8. But if you wait for the break of the diagonal, wait for a solid horizontal to present itself, enter on that, you could set up a good trade on that. Let's see. From the bottom here, let's say we break out sometime around $3, and we can get a long in off of this horizontal flip flop region on the smaller time frames. You can see this was the flip flop region right here. We have resistance, turn in support, and then breakout. To the upside, that would be a good couple 100%, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be about 400%. That would not be too bad. Not too bad. And then obviously, if it does ever get back into price discovery, I can't tell you where it's going to go, but that would be a good play as well. Hello, what's your number for XRP on this bull run? I can't tell you, man. I haven't done anything for XRP when it comes to calculating the percentage comparative to Bitcoin from last bull run. All I know is the possibility for Bitcoin. I'm trying to be conservative when I say this, 150,000. And then I'm looking for anywhere between 20 to 30,000 on Ethereum. And then I'm looking for about $3,000 on Litecoin. I don't have any predictions when it comes to XRP. Sorry about that. Funk Soul Brother, how you doing, man? He said, "What's up?" Hey, pal. Pleased to catch one of your live streams for a change rather than the catch up. Was sorry to hear about your loss. No problem, buddy. No problem, man. It is what it is. I don't know. I can't say much. But thank you, man. I do appreciate it. BTC dominance seems to lose some steam, and all the altcoins are having decent pumps since we are likely to stay between 15,300 to 15,900. Yeah, more than likely. Like I said, the first major resistance is at 15.9, 15.8. Who knows how far we can fall back on that rejection. Next local high is at 16.8, 16.9, 17,000 in that range. So that's more than likely where we'll see a possible macro rejection. We might just kind of do a micro range here in the meantime. Please check Adam. And we'll check Adam. Little bit of a messy double bottom. Now, it did reach its full target, even put in a little bit past it. Now, the horizontal neckline of the double bottom is going to be around $4.94. You have a nice diagonal off of these two bottoms, which you're finding support off of right now. So it might be a good time to reinsert some capital. Obviously, the daily chart as well is looking pretty good. It's having some nice capitulation. We have bearish convergence, bullish convergence, and that is coming off of a bearish divergence. So there could be a lot more momentum left out of that bearish divergence. That's kind of capitulating and building even more for a breakout. So as long as this diagonal holds here, you should be good. Adam's just a little bit tricky because it does seem to be a lot more diagonals, but possibility is definitely there. Obviously, you have the diagonal here as well. So you're looking for a breakout sometime soon, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So maybe in the next couple of days, maybe by the end of November, around the 20th, you should have a decision made on that, where it's going to go. XTZ, check that out as well. All right, so I think we explained this either last live stream or the live stream before that. So we were looking at this as potentially a bad thing because we do have the macro diagonal with multiple points of confluence getting broken, which can be seen as a very, very bad thing. Now, I wanted to open up an alternative to that, and that was we had a ascending triangle that reached its target, which this was the target right here. We reached our target, and now we are coming back down to retest. That is what I see as a possibility. So if we do continue to hold support, which it does look like it's starting to on the daily chart, probably go back and try to retest either the 3.6 to 4.31 range. And obviously, if we can get past that, we can kind of continue this up. If I could figure out how to make a shift fork off of this, we could possibly look at what the definitive range might be, but don't know how to do that. But it does look like it's following some sort of trend line here, and it's going to kind of sway back and forth all the way up. Hopefully, as time goes on, you can kind of build a little bit better of a diagonal, but we'll see. If you want to go strictly off of that, we could just be kind of having a little bit dip past it, and then possibly be putting in a slanted inverse head and shoulders off of this. Maybe come up here, come down here, shoot up here, come back down, hit that, and then have a skyrocket upwards. That's what I see the potential for. We had that happen on Bitcoin a little bit ago. Kind of threw people off guard. Did me as well. First time I saw a slanted horizontal, not slanted horizontal, slanted head and shoulders. My bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Celebration day for Bitcoin. Everything else is still kind of capitulating. Ethereum still has one resistance to break through before we see any sort of massive push to the upside on that. But from here on out, we'll probably be seeing us, kind of range for maybe a day or two, and then possibly have another continuation pattern up to 17,000. If anything, maybe we can go ahead and try to push all the way up to 19,000. But I am looking for 17,000 to 16.8 as the first major resistance. So I'm probably not going to be trading Bitcoin for a little bit. I'm going to be looking for a 2-hour to have a nice rejection, and then I'll see what the range looks like. And if the range is good to trade, I'll trade it. But that's pretty much it. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. Keep it short and sweet, 35 minutes. I just, like I said, I really didn't plan on live streaming today. I thought I was going to be out of here. So I'm a little bit tired from partying all last night. Just kidding. Wasn't that crazy, but I did have fun. So I'll be out of here tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday. Might not be back till Monday. Who knows? But if I do end up coming back late Monday night, we might have a live stream somewhere around 7 or 8 rather than 6. But if I do get back here on time, Monday, 6 p.m., as always, if you guys want to support the channel and contribute towards giveaways in the future, there is the Bybit affiliate link in the description. Some of your fees come to me, and that way I can put them into the channel for giveaways. As well as that, if you guys want to visit the Patreon, we do have a link to the Telegram, and for the one-on-ones, where you get a one-on-one session with me. You actually get 4 of those. And then as well as that, you get access to the Discord group, which we do have weekly meetings, and I will be showing up to those every week. I just didn't do it yesterday night just because I was having a party. But besides that, I do appreciate it, guys. As always, take care. Trade safe. Let's go ahead and say goodbye real quick. DZ Sport, thank you, Kite. Thank you very much for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Crazy Kangaroo, hit the like button, guys. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Always helps out. Puts me a little bit higher in the rankings. Crypto Kev, have a good weekend, bud. You as well, man. You as well. Drew, thanks. Have a good night. You too, man. Wish you all the best. Yo, Kite, what do you think about ETH? Maybe BTC money going towards ETH in the following weeks? Absolutely. Like I said, ETH is in a really good position. We do have a, before I go, we'll explain it one more time. ETH has a inverse head and shoulders, macro wise on the 2-hour. That could be giving us a target of the mid 500s to upper 600s. But when it comes to macro support and resistance, we only have to break through 483, and then past that point, we can pretty much go all the way up to 800. So ETH is definitely looking for a massive play here soon. We just have to break through a couple of resistances on the minor time frames, as well as this one macro time frame, in order for us to see that massive continuation come in. Crazy Kangaroo, cheers, Kite. Happy B-Day weekend, mate. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Turning 21, I'll be able to legally drink, even though it's god awful to me. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my family will force me to take at least a couple shots. It's kind of like a rite of passage. Destroy your liver when you turn 21, and then you can be an adult. Sammy Smith, thanks as always, Kite. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you too, man, for showing up. Everybody that comes here every day, every other day, I do appreciate it, man. Good stream, buddy. Enjoy your birthday weekend. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm peacing out. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. Hopefully, you guys made great gains on that push on the upside to Bitcoin. And then we will have some massive gains coming up here on a lot of these other altcoins. So look out for those. Make smart plays. Keep it simple. And I'll see you guys on Monday, all right? All right, peace out, guys.